So I recently did an episode about soulless street photography, and most of you guys who commented on that episode, like, you got what I was saying, so thank you. Some of you thought I was generalizing, and some people reached publicly and privately to me about it, and that's okay too. I am sort of generalizing. This is what I'm seeing being pushed out there by the popular YouTube channels, popular Instagram platforms, popular street photographers in general. This is what I see out there, like a ton of silhouette shots, artistic shots, and they have their merit and they have their value. What I'm trying to say is there's another way to go about doing street photography and adding a deeper purpose to it. I know you say, well, theirs is deep and they're trying. Sure, fine, okay, but I'm just saying, like, I don't see a lot of emotion in street photography. I'm not looking at a lot of images and thinking, oh, well, that's interesting. What's that like in that part of the world? Or even just like a raw, genuine emotion like laughing. I'm not seeing that. Most of the images that are pushed out there, what I'm seeing is just like, oh, cool light, cool composition. So I want to talk about going beyond that because I think the people that do that well, that's fine. Not knocking anyone for doing this type of work and monetizing it, and that's great. If you can monetize your photography in any way possible, go for it. However, a lot of you guys out there that watch my channel and then come to me for my one-on-one classes, you're amateurs and you care more about the art form than the platform, or at least you want to. And so I want to teach you how to find some soul and purpose in your photography. One of the big things that people say to me is like, I want something that I can leave behind, some work that I can leave behind. And most of the time, those people don't want to leave behind images that are just a collection of silhouettes or people in umbrellas or the juxtaposition go-to shot. They don't. They want something deeper. So I'm going to teach you today a simple process on how to start to build the fundamentals of storytelling through documentary photography. And stay tuned to the end because I'll teach you how that's going to help your street photography. I know a lot of you out there aren't interested in being photojournalists or being documentary photographers. However, that skill set will help you in all of your photography, but especially street photography. This is the core of my teaching in my one-on-one classes. People that come to me for my mentorship is find a subject and a story and to focus on that. So we're going to find a story. And how do you do that? Well, you find a subject. So I like to start small. Don't think of this project you're going to do first as like your legacy project, as the project you're leaving behind. Think of this project as the foundation for your next project that you're going to work on. That's going to help you have the skills to capture that legacy project. So how do we do this, Justin? Well, all right, that's what I'm getting to. So we're going to start with finding a subject. Shadow a family member, a friend, or a friend of a friend. Look for someone who is doing something that is somewhat visually interesting, not just sitting in an office all day. A lot of my students usually go with an artist, an athlete, a craftsman, craftswoman, someone that's building something or doing something physically active. Those are going to be great subjects. And typically, I found that people that are more visually interesting tend to be more willing to be photographed because they usually like work alone or train alone, and they don't mind having it. Not everyone, but they tend to say yes, more than not. So, okay, you've got the person, you've got the subject, then what? How do you ask them? It's going to be weird, like shadowing them and asking them, can I take pictures of them? No, it doesn't have to be. Just be honest. Say I'm taking a one-on-one photography class, or just say I'm working on my documentary skills as a photographer. I'll give you the photos afterwards and just ask. Like my students, that's the biggest hurdle. Like they're like, well, I don't, no one's going to say. Most people say yes, and if they don't, find someone who will. Not that difficult. And then it's like dating. Start slow. Maybe one day a week, maybe for an hour or two. Go to the place they're doing their thing, they're training, they're building, whatever they're doing, and then show up and just document. Don't set things up. You can set up portraits later on, but don't just photograph them while they train, cooked, craft, or whatever. Don't direct the scene, work the scene. Just watch what they do and let them do it and look for nice pictures. In the end, we're gonna aim for like a 10 to 15 picture story. And you wanna build on that each week. You're gonna edit, you're gonna analyze, you're gonna go back and shoot every single week and build on the pictures that you took the week before. It's sort of just rinse and repeat. And you want to go as often as you can. As long as you can stand it, as long as your subject can stand it, just go there. It's as easy as that. Putting in the time. You're going to look for portraits, you're going to look for details, you're going to look for everyday moments, you're going to look for ways to humanize them. You're going to mix these images together and you're going to start to create a story. You're going to give a sense of place, a sense of who they are, a sense of what they do. So using the athlete as an example, you want to capture the equipment that they use. If they're a boxer, is it the gloves? Is it the bag? You're going to try to get the training ground, the area, a sense of where they train. And then you want to show the emotion, the grit, the hard work, the defeat, the wins, all of that stuff. All of this is part of the process. It's not easy. Trust is earned, not given, and moments are earned with time, not through entitlement or directing. Just like the athlete training, you have to put the time in. And then you just keep going back and you keep building and you keep looking at these images, you keep sequencing them, and then you look on how to improve these images with better light, with better composition. And the more time you go, the more moments are going to present themselves. The more time you put in, the deeper understanding you're going to have of the person and the deeper understanding of the story, and the more chances you're going to have to capture all of this. So how will this shape my street photography? Well, when we go back to talking about soulless street photography, it's because people aren't putting the time in. There's no human emotion. You don't capture emotion until you put the time in. So this exercise will teach you so many things about photography, but most importantly, it will teach you discipline, patience, purpose, and sequencing the images and putting them together will teach you better visual storytelling skills. These fundamental skills will help you go from merely capturing shapes and shadows in your street photography to capturing meaning and moments. And that's not to say you need to lose your style or your style shouldn't have these silhouettes and nice light. Of course it should, but build on it. Go deeper with your single images, your collection of images, your body of work as a photographer. Think deeply about where you want your work to go, what you're trying to say with your photography. That's the important part. I mean, sometimes I want to tune off and just capture light and shadows, sure. However, I want to open up your eyes, you guys, to the other side of photography. Anyone can really do this. Anyone can have purpose. Anyone can have meaning. Anyone can capture moments in their photography. It just takes putting the time in. I know it's not rewarded on social media, but the images that stand the test of time historically, and that's what a lot of you guys are asking me about, is having a legacy project. They have human emotion. Those images make you feel something. Typically, like if you close your eyes and think of an image, like that image is probably something that made you feel something. And it probably wasn't just like, oh, cool light. You know, it was probably something deeper than that, or at least I hope it is. And that's what I want for you guys. Play around with the other stuff all you want. Inject that into your photography, sure. But aim for building emotion, aim for building purpose in your photography. Even if you're an amateur, it's fun and anyone can do it. You can do it. I've just given you the playbook. If you want to go deeper with it, sure. Someone told me I was selling too much on my site, but I like teaching, so I like selling it too because I enjoy doing it. So if you want to work on your photography, you want to work on your storytelling skills, sign up for my mentorship program. It's open to all ages, all levels of photographers, interested in all genres. Learning how to tell a better story will help you in all of your photography. That's what I help you do with my mentorship program. You can check all that out in the link below. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to have a wonderful day.